Hello everyone. So today we are going to cover loops. So the definition of loop is like this. It means repetition of task and it happens in 4 steps. As you can see, I have mentioned here already as a notes. So step 1 is stepper or counter variable initialization. Then we go to step 2. Step 2, which is conditional statement. And this helps us to know when to close the loop. And go to step 3 if the step 2 condition is true. Then in step 3 we will complete the logical task, and this task is actually nothing but the repetition of statements that needs to be done inside the loop. And then we will go to step 4. The step 4 is about increment or decrement of stepper or counter variable. After this the loop goes back to the step 2, and then step 2 again, like it will execute. If it is true, we'll go to step 3, then step 4. So this is how the repetition keeps going on, okay, until the conditional statement becomes false. Instead of true, it becomes false. Once it becomes false, we'll come out of the loop. All right. We have different type of loops in Java. That is for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for each loop. Okay. So these are the different types of loops in Java. So I have prepared a program here for you guys so that we will understand practically how it works. So in the program, this I have printed just to say that okay, we are beginning the program, okay, and this is out of the loop, okay. Then here is the for loop. This is for loop. Now you can see I have initialized one variable inside the loop, okay. So int I equals to 1. This is step 1. Then we will check the condition whether this 1 which is initialized inside I, so if that 1 is less than equals to 5, I here I less than equals to 5, it means 1 is less than equals to 5 for now, okay. If it is true, then we go inside the loop and we will print this statement, which is like I equals to and the value of I. So if it is 1 right now, so it will print I equals to 1 in the beginning. Then in step 4 it will increment by 1. I have put I plus plus, so it will increment by 1. This is 4th step. Now 4th step was asking us to go to step 2 again. Okay, now now the value is 2. For I, the value has become 2 after this increment. So 2 is less than equals to 5. Again true. So it will print I equals to true. Okay, then after that, again I plus plus. The value becomes 3 for I. 3 is less than equals to 5. Again true. It will print I equals to 3. Then again I plus plus, it becomes 4. 4 is less than equals to 5. It will print I equals to 4. Then I plus plus, it becomes 5. 5 less than equals to 5. Is it true or false? Okay, so less than equals to means it can be less than or it can be equals to. Since 5 equals to 5, so it will again become true and it will print I equals to 5. Then I plus plus, it becomes 6. 6 less than equals to 5. It becomes false because 6 is neither less than 5 and 6 is not equals to 5. So it becomes false. And we will come out of the for loop and it will print here out of for loop. So this is how the for loop will work, okay. Coming next is while loop. So in the while loop, we don't initialize the variable inside the loop. Unlike for loop, we will initialize the variable outside the while loop, okay. So int j equals to 1 is outside the while, and then in while we will put the condition which is step 2. So the loop will continue until this becomes false, okay. So we will check the condition, then we will execute the logical statement, and at the end we will do the increment or decrement, which is step 4, okay. So step 1, step 2, step 3, and at the end step 4. And in step 4 it will again go back to step 2. As long as it is true, it will keep repeating, otherwise it will come out of the loop, okay. Then we have do while loop, okay. So in do while, again the variable, just like the while loop, it will be initialized outside the loop. Then inside do, we will have the statement execution. Then we will have increment or decrement, and at last we will check the condition. So that's why I can say that do while is different from while and for loop, because in for loop and while loop, the condition check always happens at step 2, right? But in do while, the condition statement, or we can say the condition check, always happens at the end, which is step 4. It will initialize the variable of stepper or counter. It will execute the logical statement. It will even do the increment decrement also, and at last, as a step 4, it will check the condition. If it is true, it will repeat again for whatever is inside the do loop. Okay, inside the do scope. All right. So this is how the do while is different from while loop and for loop. And since we are checking the condition at the end, so it will always execute the logical statement at least once. Okay. Whereas if here the condition was false, it wouldn't even execute the logical statement even once, right? Same goes for loop. Okay, if this condition wasn't true, it won't go inside the loop, right? And it won't print this. Okay, but in do loop we are not going to check condition first, so it will always execute the loop at least once. Okay, then we can come out of the do while loop and for each loop. Okay, let's understand the for each loop. So it works only for arrays or collections. All right, and it won't work for noble variable initialization or stepper variable initialization. It doesn't work like that. So it's completely different from previous 3 loops. Okay, so and we will learn about the arrays in detail in the coming tutorials, so stay tuned for that. And let's see how for loop works. So for that, I have initialized one array variable. This is how we initialize an array variable in one dimension. So we'll put a data type, and just after data type we will have a square bracket. Okay, then variable name, then equals to, and for now I am just initializing like hard coded as of now. Okay, so this is how it's going to work, curly braces, and inside that we can keep multiple values, 1 2 3, how many, whatever. Okay, you can even put more values also, 6 7, whatever you want. Okay, so this is your value in the array, okay, or collection of integer variables. What is int array? Int array is nothing but collection of integer variable values. Okay, there can be any value inside it. Then this is how for loop will work. We don't have any variable initialization for steppers. Okay, so for, we'll put for, and inside here in the parenthesis we will have a temporary variable. It can be any name. Okay, it's like data type and variable name. Okay, then array where will be the variable name of array that will come here. Okay, so what's going to happen actually here internally? Okay, like it will do the increment and decrement itself. Okay, whatever the increment we have to do, I plus plus, that thing will be handled internally. Okay, by for loop, for each loop. Okay, and what it does, it first checks if we have any value in the array where, okay, at the first position. This first position is known as 0 index. Okay, indexing always starts with 0. Okay, 0 index is equals to first position in array. Okay, so it will check if we have any value in the 0 index. Okay, if it is there, that means that array contains some value at least. Okay, at least one value it contains. All right, now what it will do, it will say num equals to array where 0. Okay, so whatever the value array where has at 0 index, or in 0 index means first position, that is 1. So that 1 will be assigned inside num. Okay, in this case here, so first position value will come in the num over here. Then it will print that value. Then automatically it will have a stepper increment. Okay, that we are not able to say here because we don't control that by ourselves. Okay, so it will happen automatically. Then it will check, okay, now in the second position, that is 1 index, because first position was 0 index, so definitely second position will be 1 index. So is there any variable value at 1 index? Yes, we have. It is true. So it will assign value 2 inside num. Okay, in the next repetition. Similarly, it will assign third in the next repetition, then 4 in the next, and then 5th in the next. Once it has printed 5 here, then it will check whether we have any more value in the next index. Okay, So next index will be like sixth position and 5 index. So do we have any any value at 6 in position, or we can say 5 index? No. If we don't have any value available, it cannot assign anything here. If it cannot assign any value now to num, it will come out of for each loop. Okay, so since it was doing the increment by itself, it was assigning the value by itself until we reach the very last position. Okay, so that's why it is known as for each loop, because it executes the loop, and or we can say it repeats the loop until we have reached from first position to the very last position. Okay, so this is how all the loops work. Now let's see and understand the outputs of these loops, or we can say this program. Okay, so at first it was out of the loop. Okay, we just begin the program, so it prints like this. Then it executes the first for loop. Okay, for loop I equals to 1, I less than equals to 5, I plus plus, and I equals to plus I. Okay, so it always print I equals to 1 2 3 like that. It prints 5 times. See, I only printed it once, but because it is inside the for loop, so it repeated 5 times. Okay, whereas this was not inside any loop, so it printed only one time. So now you understand how repetition works with loops. Then once this condition was false, we came outside the loop and it printed out of for loop. See, similarly now in the while loop, we continue to print this statement here. Okay, we continue to print 3x, so it prints 3x. Then we print j, so whatever the value, initially it was 1, then because of increments it keep repeating 1 2 3 here. You can see in the next step it will be 2, then 3, so it keeps incrementing by 1. Okay, because of this j plus plus. All right, then so 3x, whatever the value is inside j, and then equals to, okay, and then 3x 3 star j means 3 multiplied by j. So 3 multiplied by j is initially 1, so it becomes 3. Next time due to increment it will become 2, j will become 2. Okay, so 3 multiplied by 2. Okay, here instead of j it will print 2, and then 3 multiplied by 2 it becomes 6, so it will print 6 here. Okay, similarly next time it will be 3, the j will be 3, and the value here will be 3 multiplied by 3, that was 9. Then 4, okay, and 3 multiplied by 4, which is 12. So this is how it's going to print from 3 to 30. Okay, the table of 3. You must have learned this in your primaries, I am sure. Okay, once it is done, and once we have got the value 11 in the last loop. Okay, so 11 less than equals to 10, it will become false and we will come out of the while loop. Okay, now next time we have do while loop, k equals to 0, and what does it do? It prints k equals to k multiplied by k, that is square of k. Okay, so whatever is the square of k, it will print that until this condition is false. Okay, and it will increment by 1 every time. Okay, so 0 1 4 9 and 16. Okay, so this is how it's printed. Then we have the for each loop. Okay, num of array, where whatever the value is being stored in the num here in this statement, that will be printed here. So initially it was 1, okay, from this array, then 2, then 3. So this is how it's going to work. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5, and then out of for each loop, and it will end the program also. All right, so this is how for and for each loops work, and while and do while loops work. Okay, now you would say that why I am writing increment and or decrement here for stepper and counter, whereas I am always having decrements. So for that, let me show you some examples of decrement also. Okay, for now I will just comment all other things. Okay, let me comment all other things, so you only focus on this now. Okay, so let's say I put here as 5, I initialize the value by 5, and here I put it as 1 but greater than equals to 1, and here I will say decrement. Okay, so before I run the program, can you tell me what should be the output here? Okay, I'll tell you. So, see, first it will initialize by 5. Check if 5 is greater than 1 or equals to 1. It is true. So it will say I equals to 5. Then decrement by 1. Okay. So now it becomes 4. So is 4 greater than equals to 1? True. So it will say I equals to 4. So now the loop is coming in reverse direction. It was earlier it was printing 1 2 3 4 5. Now it prints 5 4 3 2 1. Okay. And then once we have 0 as the last decrement, once we get 0, so 0 is greater than equals to 1, it will become false. Then we won't print anything. Okay, let's see the output now. So I equals to 5 4 3 2 1, and we are out of the loop after this. Okay. All right. Now you might have another question. Like, can we do the increment or decrement only by I plus plus or I minus minus or like that, or plus plus I or plus plus minus 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 I only? Can't we use assignment operators instead of unary operators? So the answer is you can use assignment operators also. You can do the increment or decrement with any count of stepper you want. For example, let me again take it as 1, okay, and less than equals to, let's say 50, okay, and actually it was, let's say 0, okay, and I would say I equals to I plus 55, sorry, I plus 5, okay. Now let's see what should be the output. So initially it is 0. 0 is less than equals to 50. It's true, right? So it will print I equals to 0. Then it will come here on the stepper increment. Now stepper increment increments by 5. Not like it. We are not using unary operator. We are using the assignment operator as well as the summing, or we can say add operator. Okay, plus operator. So I was 0. So 0 plus 5 is 5. So I will be assigned the value 5. Now is 5 less than equals to 5? True. So it will print I equals to 5. So next 5, I was 5, 5 plus 5, 10. Now I has value 10. Is 10 is less than equals to 5? True. So it will print I equals to 10. So this is how it's going to print all the values by 5 increment. Okay, with a gap of 5. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and then 50. So similarly you can do the decrements also with using assignment and minus operator or plus operator, whatever you want. So you can do the reverse loop also. Okay, and same goes for while loop, do while loop, and other loops also. But only for each loop we don't have any control on the stepper. Okay, it will always do implicitly, or we can say internally, it will always do the increment by 1. So for this we always have to manage for continuous operation of, or we can say continuous repetition by 1 step only. But for while, do while, and for loop we can control the stepper count. Okay, let me show you once with the for while loop also. Okay, let's try with the while loop once. Okay, so here instead of j plus plus, what I will do is j is equals to j plus 2. Okay, so instead of j plus plus, we are doing j plus 2 and assign it to j. So now it will skip one count variable and always it will increment by 2 only. Okay, so now it becomes 3, 1 times 3 is 3, 3 times 3 is 9, then 5 times, then 7 times. So you can see there is a difference between the stepper. 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 2 7, 7 plus 2 9, right? And that's how it calculates here also, right? So this is how the steppers work. Okay, you can do the decrement and here greater than equals to, and here decrement also, like that also you can do to print it in reverse. So let's say it was 10. Okay, and I put it here as like greater than equals to 0. Okay, then j minus 2. Okay, let's see how it works in decrement. So 3 10 times 3 is 30, 3 8 times. So again decreasing by 2, right? And same goes for the calculation here. 3 10 times 30, 3 8 times 24, 18, 12, 6, and then at last 0. Okay. So this is how the increment or decrement works, or the forward loop and reverse loop works. Okay. For any loop. Same you can do for do while loop also. Let me know if you face any challenge anymore, and you can put your doubts in the comment section. I will try to answer all the questions that you have. Okay. And what also comment down like what are the different tasks that you do daily, okay, that are repeated. Like definitely you do the brush daily after every 24 hours, right? So that goes like repetition of tasks. Similarly you go to your office or school or college daily, right? So that is a repetitive task. So all these things are coming in a loop, okay, in our everyday life. Okay. What are the statements that are out of the loop in our daily life? Okay, maybe you took a holiday, or you took a leave from your college and you went on a trip with your family. Isn't it exciting? Right? So that comes out of the loop. Okay, that comes out of our daily life. Okay, but there are some things that are repeated every day. Those come in the loop of our life. So remember, life is neither a loop nor a straight line. Okay, it can be sometimes inside a loop and sometimes outside a loop. Okay. If you like this video, please support me, subscribe and like this video and share this video to the maximum people so that more people can be helped, right? And stay tuned. Thank you, everyone.